Interview.
Come on! We've got lots of murdering to do.
I'm Chris Cao, the game director on DC Universe Online. Well, where we are right now is we're pushing hard towards our November 2nd launch date. All sorts of beta going on internally, letting more and more people into it as we grow that audience. Just seeing how many people can fit in one universe online, how many heroes and villains we can get fighting each other. Well, today we are giving you sort of a look at the starting episode that a hero might go after. In this case, you've gone through Character Create and you've chosen Superman as your mentor. Each different type of character you make has a DC mentor, one of the sort of notables in the DC universe, who's going to sort of show you the ropes or show you to the rope in the case of the villain. In this case, it's Superman, and that means you're a meta hero. You're a hero whose powers come from within themselves or through some sort of intrinsic means. And by following Superman, really what he's doing is you're facing against the villains that are typical for him or the scales of challenge. Here today, you're after Gorilla Grodd. He's this hyper-evolved gorilla with all sorts of bad mental powers, and he's got a little bit of a ruler complex. He's invading Metropolis to take over because of all of the different trouble that started. He's taking advantage of it and coming after Metropolis. Well, right from the beginning of the game, we set it up with the cinematic we've already released, which shows the alternate future, the things that could go wrong. In this case, Brainiac, this ultimate alien intelligence, is going to take advantage of the fact that heroes and villains are fighting each other. And in this possible future, if heroes and villains don't stop, if they don't turn instead and fight Brainiac, they're going to ultimately lose and all of Earth is going to lose. You begin the game with your chance to make a difference, and the difference this time is that they've stolen Brainiac's technology, brought it back to your current timeline, and all of a sudden it's been invested in all sorts of populations across the globe. So there's a lot more heroes and villains. All of a sudden, instead of just the Justice League or just the Society, now there's literally millions of heroes and villains, and you're beginning the game starting as one of those. Well, DC Universe Online is your story, right? Then we say the next legend is you, so that means, well, you've got to go do some things to build that legend. And those are sort of partitioned into episodes. They're almost like comic issues or runs where you're the central figure and you're facing off against or you're fighting alongside great iconic DC characters. Your story just happens to be your trek through that world, but there's lots of different things going on at the same time as that main mission. The DC Universe is, of course, all about the DC characters, those heroes and villains you know from the comics, the movies, the TV. So, of course, you want to run into them, you want to fight them, or you want to fight alongside them. In the case of this episode, you're actually trying to track down the Flash. He's gone missing, and he is a nemesis of Grodd, right? He and Grodd don't like each other. Through the comics, they fought all of the time. So you're actually tracking Grodd down to find out what's happened to Flash. You're the sidekick at this point. You're fighting alongside Flash, helping him out. But realize you're going to grow so that soon you're on your own, and it's up to you by yourself who you're facing off against and who you're fighting with. And ultimately, you're going to have to prove yourself by actually saving or betraying some of the most iconic characters in the game. And you better have the skill and the experience by that time to make it work, because it's going to be up to you and your character. So what does it mean to be the legend? How do you grow in power and skill? Well, you literally grow in both as you level up through the game. Every even level you get more power. So you choose a power like fire, like we did in this case. And you're able to choose more and deeper expressions of that fire ability. At first, you can only set guys on fire. Then you can detonate anything that's on fire. So if something's on fire around you, it blows up. Then you can spread fires that already exist. So you gain more and more control of fire, and every other level, you get to choose more of those types of abilities. However, on the odd levels, you get to choose skills, and those skills are based on your weapon or your movement style. The big difference is powers tend to give you prey abilities, those things that are the real obvious superpowers. Skills give you combos. So especially on the PS3 and the controllers, that's where you've got to get your player skill on in order to take advantage of those combos. Do more damage, knock the guys up in the air, juggle them, whatever you want to do. So as your legend grows, your character's powers and skills grow based on what you choose. You don't come into the game with a hero already made, already set, already a legend, right? You don't come in looking like you are and are going to stay that way forever. Instead, this is very much about the growth of your character. Starting at Character Create, you get some simple choices, some alternatives that set your pace. But realize you just got your powers. You've just come into this world, and you haven't yet made your mark. You get gear, you get visible appearances in the game that you are going to be able to change the look of your character, and over time your options grow and continue to grow until at the end of the game you're actually going to be able to get an iconic battle suit. This is a suit made by an iconic for you that actually has their logo on it. But realize the power in that suit doesn't mean that you have to look that way. If you like having your look, maybe you're a rock skin guy with fiery hair and you don't want to go that way, our appearance system, our style system lets you always look how you want to look. So the gear you have on, you can always override with whatever of the collections you gain. So every time you gain a piece of gear, you're gaining another option to vary your character and differ them. So in much the same way, you have to go from that 0 to hero. That's how your character create goes. It's not even just one moment in the game, it's throughout the life of the game. It just keeps going.
And Grodd will not just survive, he will triumph!
So November 2nd for sure you'll be able to get into the game on either the PC or the PlayStation 3 and play alongside your friends or against your friends, however you want to do it in the DC Universe. And keep watching DCUniverseOnline.com. That's where we release more and more information, especially about the stages of beta. Some people at Comic-Con I know already have in their hot little hands some beta invitations. Don't worry, we're getting to you and you guys will definitely be the first in line.